Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. You're just joining Ellie today because I don't know where Queen Ash is, but she must be having a lie-in, I reckon. I'm going to text her now. I have actually phoned her, but she hasn't picked up, so she might be having a snooze. You know, it is Sunday after all. Listen, we're here to celebrate the Spurs. This is the scarf that Leo gave me, Colorado Spurs. Come on. Can you see that, people? To dare is to do. Look at that. Didn't we dare and didn't we do yesterday? We did. We actually battered the Bubbles from East London. They're called West Ham or West Ham United, if you want to put it right. Yes, we beat them 4-1, making sure that we stay in touch with the top four at least and keep in touch with the challenging for the league as well. So we've got 13 points now with a goal difference of +9. So we're not doing too bad. We need to do better in some of the games, though, I would say. But first of all, let's welcome people in. I've got a few people in so far. Here we go. Let's welcome. Right, we've got Scott Colliver saying, hello, ladies. Hello. Hayley Rasso is injured. Hope it's not too bad. Yeah, I heard that, Scott. Hayley's got a bit of an injury problem at the moment, so I hope she does get well very soon because we're missing her. Yeah, I think she's one of those players who just makes the whole front line tick, and she gels the play very well, links up very well with Beth England and Martha Thomas. So I'm hoping she's back very soon, Scott. There you go. And then we got Shemtan. Good morning to the lovely Queen, Ellie Bergvall, Benton Corverna. Hope you're happy and healthy today. Yes, I am. What a brilliant performance yesterday by Spurs, destroying the Spanners. Yes, we did. We well and truly destroyed them. And do you know what? It was one man who stood out in my eyes, and that was Kulishevsky. He gets a lot of stick. He's a bit like Marmite, but he does perform. When he performs up to what he can do, we know what he can do. He's absolutely a fabulous player, and how he can hold the ball up for us as well. And the way he dribbled yesterday, oh my God, he burst those bubbles well and truly. You know, he was sliding through their defence. They didn't have an answer, did they? They really didn't. Right, and now we've got 3-4 all, decent day all round. Yeah, with the Gooners losing. Come on, the Cherries. Yes, 2-0 to the Cherries, and they well deserved that victory as well, just like we deserved our 4-1 victory. Actually, it could have been a lot more. It could have been a cricket score, you know. Anyway, but let's move on. I think Spurs, we need to take stock now and make sure that we go into every single match with this attitude, you know, especially in the second half. I think we played even more cultured in the first half, but the second half we were more spirited and we got at them a lot more in terms of creating chances. But we had a lot of corners in the first half, I would say. We should have really capitalised on more of those corners. I think we had 12 in the first half and 1 in the second half, if I remember rightly. So, yeah, we've got to make sure that we do get some more set pieces because they do add up in terms of the whole season, you know. I just feel we just had one up on West Ham. We just had the better of them, and they didn't have no answer in the second half. And I thought taking off 3 of their players and replacing them with the other 3 made them even weaker, you know, because we were just slicing through them. What you guys think? Well, how did you think the game went as well? Let me know in the chat. We've got some more people joining us, and the chat is very important to us, as you know, you lovely people. I'm sending you out lots of kisses. So Shimtan saying, yeah, but Ange did an amazing job too. Inspired substitution at halftime. Saw the spammers were taking advantage of this, tried to cover so much ground alone. So brought on super sub Sarr to help him. Yeah, that is true. That was, do you know what? I had a little chat with Ian Meff about that. I thought it would be better to bring on Bentancur, but Ian, you were right, mate. Sarr, he sealed up all those little holes and he fought for every single ball and all that unsung work that he does. You know, he covers every blade of the grass, as Sarr does. And it was an inspirational substitution, I must admit, Shem. And it really did work well for us because Biss and Sarr, they know each other's game and they really do like each other. You can tell the way they hug each other and high-five each other every time they put in a tackle. And like Biss was really, really good in the first half. I was so impressed with his tracking back as well because I'm not used to seeing Biss do that. So obviously he wants to win his place back. So you know what? I think he deserves a place now. He really does because Bentancur, he's fantastic, I must admit. He's a sublime player. He's one of those players that gets you off your seat. But because he's only lasting maybe 50 to 60 minutes, maybe it'd be good to start with him, with Biss, actually, and then bring on Sarr for fresh legs. I just feel Sarr can come on and influence the game as a fresh player, you know, and because he's so energetic and he gets around the pitch so well, I love him. I'm trying to get a hold of Jose as well, but I think they're all having a lie-in. You know, so it's just going to be me on my Todd until somebody joins me. But Daikaro, you're making a really good point here. You are so very right, Queen Ellie. We need to think of this as a foundation. We need to start building something here. Yeah, because I don't want us, right, to regress. I want us to push forward and actually go on that run that we did at the beginning of the last season. Yeah, where we got 8 wins and 2 draws. We keep that up and then keep it up again because we dropped off after that, and that big Chelsea game came and we sort of fell off the wagon, and then towards the end of the season we did it again. I think we lost 5 out of 6 in the last, I think it was 5 out of 6, the last 6 games. So that was awful. So we can't repeat that again if we're going to make Champions League qualification, or if indeed we want to challenge for the league, because we've got players that can, but they don't always do it. We've seen it before, so we want them to really, really focus and really be on it every single game. Yeah, so Free for All saying the time has definitely come for more to be ahead of Timo in the pecking order. I totally agree, Free for All. Honestly, come on, Timo Werner, he doesn't offer that much. Okay, he's decent on the ball, but when he's got the ball, he's so wasteful, and in front of goal, he just hasn't got football IQ in the Premiership anyway. I mean, he's proven it in the German league, but like that was 5, 6, 7 years ago. Now we want him to do it in our league, but he seems to be goal shy, and every time he gets an opportunity, he muffs it. So no, come on, Mikey Moore. Yes, we need to see more of him, don't we, people? Let me know your thoughts. Good morning, sweetheart, Johnny Bethnal Green. Love him. Love his accent, just like mine, isn't it? Right, Scotty Colliver. Moore should definitely play ahead of Werner. I totally agree, 100%. Right, so Shemtan saying, you're right, Q. Yeah, he's talking to one another. And then Shemtan saying, Queen Ellie, Sarr covers so much ground, plus his passing has really improved, and he started so many transitional attacks, which led to at least 2 of our goals. You're right, Shem. You know what? He's working on his game because he's only a youngster, remember. He's developing, right? And if he gets more game time this season, which I hope and pray that Ange Postecoglou gives him a lot of more starts as well. Because even though I think he might be better coming off the bench now, because I think Bentancur's a bit more cultured and he can offer a little bit more skill here and there. But you can never put down a player, right, that covers so much ground as Sarr. He's a bit like a N'Golo Kante when Chelsea were at their peak. You know, he's still got a lot to learn to get to that level of N'Golo Kante, but he reminds me a lot of him, not just because he covers the ground, it's because he's very he's very precise, you know, he's very focused and he's very disciplined, which I love in a player. You know, I just feel that he can offer a lot. So I hope Ange is listening to this. Come on, Ange, Postecoglou. You're Greek just like me, so tune in. So Dakar is saying more. Yes, true. And the sheriff, way, my partner in crime, morning, Lily, how are you? I'm really well, Mark. I woke up with a buzz. Because we battered West Ham 4-1 yesterday, and what a performance. What a great performance. Like, I don't know, I don't think you could have even got a much better performance than that, you know, because we were focused for at least, I would say, at least 3/4 of our match. We dropped off a little bit in the last 15 minutes of the first half, but the second half we came out all guns blazing, didn't we? You know, and I think this man here, Kulusevski, well and truly making his mark, isn't he? There you go. There was a little pun there for you, Mark. He's like coming like a fresher breath. I'm losing my words now. A fresher breath air, right? And I just think he's taken to that role in the middle so well. You know, I think that's his best role, not on the wing. He's wasted on the wing, because on the wing, you know what you need? You need a bit more speed than what Kula's got. I'm not saying he's slow, because he's far from slow. But you know what? He does beat his player, but then they catch up with him and then he checks. But in the middle, he can control it. And I'll tell you what, one thing, right? I think he can take Maddison's role, you know, because Maddison, he hasn't been performing to his level since he came to Spurs, really. It was only the first 10 games that we've really seen the best of Maddison, and a few games here and there, but nothing really that stands out in my mind. And yesterday, I think he was right off it, and I was glad that Postecoglou substituted him, because his corners were pants. He just didn't look like he was at the races, you know. And I was glad that Ange pulled him off, and he had a sorry face. But listen, Maddison, he's got to buck up his ideas if he wants to, you know, seal that creative juices role for Spurs, because at the end of the day, that's his job, you know, to create. And he wasn't really creating much. Not that I saw anyway. I mean, what do you think, people? Do you think Kulu should take his place and Maddison drop to the bench and bring him on later? Because I think Bentancur offers more, what I've seen this season. I'm not saying Maddison's been pants, but he hasn't been himself. And I think he needs a kick up the arse, actually. I think Ange did give it to him by substituting him anyway. He's got a lot to think about, just put it that way. And the sheriff's saying we need to sort out our defence. Too much ball watching. Yeah, I agree with you, but on the main, we were quite solid. It was just a few errors here and there, especially Udogie sort of letting his man go past him by trying to tackle him rather than seeing him out. You've got to show him the line and usher him out, like Glenn Hoddle said. You know, don't try and tackle him, because if they spin you, you're done. And then they scored. So, yeah, Udogie's got to stay focused, and he's not got to, you know, don't dash in and try and tackle. Just stay off your man, usher him out. That's what I say. Daikaro saying, I love Kulu. Does he ever not look like he's totally annoyed with everything? I get the feeling that no matter how good a game he has, he always wants more. Yeah, because a sign of a fantastic player, he always wants to improve, right? And Kulu is a fantastic player. Yes, he's got his critics. Yes, he has his bad games, but doesn't all players, right? But when he's on his game, there's no one better in our team, because the way he holds the ball up, it's just terrific, you know. Quoting Harry Redknapp there, terrific. Yeah. And Jessie, good morning, Jessie. I love your show. You know that. I mean, it's so brilliant. And well done for Leeds for beating Sheffield United 2-0. My brother went to Sheffield University, sorry. And I was up in Sheffield quite a lot. So I love the Yorkshire people. You're so lovely and so real and down to earth. I love you. Keep up the good work, Jessie, and well done. Congratulations on getting over 10,000. Johnny Bethnal Green, Madder's overrated and keeps passing the buck. Yes, I did see that, Johnny. You know, every time he had the ball, or nearly every time, I wouldn't say every time, but nearly, he was passing back. No, Madders, you're there to create, mate. You're there to get the ball and do something special with it. You know, we're used to seeing you do that a lot of games last season, so we want to see it again. All right, so Madders, he's got to get a kick up the arse, and he, oh, Johnny Bethnal Green, you can give it to him. I'll give him another second one. And then we got Noel Kane, the man from Montrose. Morning, no Ash yet. I've actually texted her and I've tried to call her, but she must be having a lie-in. She doesn't need her beauty sleep. Just put it that way. She's beautiful enough. So the sheriff's saying, can't remember his name, but the man from Leicester told us about Maddison when we signed him. Goes missing a lot and can't get in the England team, which says a lot. Yes, Mark, you know what? It's David Clark, the man from Leicester. We've got Noel Kane, the man from Montrose. And then we've got David Clark, the man from Leicester. Yeah, it's true, right? He does go missing, all right? And David Clark knows because he's seen a lot of Maddison. So he's got the IQ on it, you know, and I think he should be given more because he's such a good player. You know, we know he's a good player. I'm not going to diss him too much because I know that he can produce, right? But he's not producing it right at this minute. So I just really reiterate he needs that kick up the arse. Yeah. And I think Jessie could give him one as well. Thanks, Ellie. No problem. You're welcome, darling. Always tuning in to Jess. Do you know what? I sometimes tune in and I don't comment, and sometimes because I just like to watch, and sometimes I will comment. But obviously, your show, pucker, as they say in London. And here we have the beautiful Ash. She's joining us. Woo! You had a little bit of a lie-in. I was just telling everybody you don't need your beauty sleep because you're beautiful enough. So Ash, we're doing well. I've started the show. I was going to wait for you, but I thought I texted you and phoned you, but I got no response. But I thought you're either out with family doing something beautiful, and you know, showing your beautiful face out in India.
No, Ellie, I don't live with any family. I live alone here in the wilderness.
You're in the countryside of India, aren't you?
My generator crashed. So unfortunately, I was out of electricity. So no phone, no laptop. It's like I disconnected from the world.
Oh, but it's lovely to see you, Ash. So lovely. How are you today, anyway?
I'm so excited. I'm so happy. You know, Arsenal lost, Spurs won, perfect day. Nothing could go wrong.
Great. I'll tell you what, we're gonna go on to Thursday, right? We're gonna have this euphoria up to Thursday, and I'm going to that match on Thursday. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody because I couldn't make this match, right? But I watched it from home, and boy, did we play well. Oh
my God, I was so happy, especially with that second half. I actually, you know, honestly, I know there are lots of people criticizing us for the first half, but I actually thought we played well in the first half as well.
Yeah,
we just didn't score, you know. But like, I think Ange, that tactical masterclass of that substitution, my God, I was so happy that he's changing things in time so that we can actually affect the game.
See, he does take things on board, Ange, right? And he has adapted because he's put Kulu in the middle because he sees Maddison's not producing that same spark, that same creativity. And he was passing the back like one of our, I think it was Johnny Bethnal Green said that he was passing the buck. He was, right? And I thought he could have offered us a lot more, and the corners were pants as well because we had 12 corners in the first half.
That's the reason I was angry at Maddison the most, because we had so many corners and most of them were on that left where he was taking them, and not a single corner was effective. Like, there was not a single delivery that was really effective. In fact, on the other side, I think Porro had one delivery that was semi like good, but like on this side, Madison was doing nothing, and just for that, he deserved to be taken off.
Yeah, true. Listen, we're going to catch up with the chat, right? I'll let you read the chat. Can you bring up the chat, Ash?
Yeah, I can bring up the chat.
Yeah, good. No, I don't have to do it. You can bring it up.
So 3-4-all is saying Decky's mentality is elite for someone so young. Sweden's captain as well. You know, my brother and I were discussing this yesterday, and I think that he's captain material for us as well. He's young, but he's responsible, and like he has, you know, he leads by example. I really think that he is captain material. Sports lovers saying Decky has turned world class. Absolutely, he really has. He's also saying don't mind the idea of Madders starting and putting Sar on at halftime. You know, honestly, I don't either, but I think it should be dependent game to game, depending on whether we need physicality in the midfield and legs in the midfield, or whether we need some trickery and creativity.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because Antonio, Antonio was really helping out all areas, but in the midfield, he was picking up the ball and creating us quite a lot of trouble, you know, and he was really, really effective. So we needed someone to combat that in the second half. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then Mark's here. That's him. Whereas Kulu is captain of Sweden, which also says a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, it really does. And Chemtan's here saying good morning to the beautiful lady Ash. Thank you for the compliment, Chemtan. Hope you're good and healthy today. Good, definitely, but you know, it's been without electricity for the last I don't know how many hours, so I'm a little annoyed, but good otherwise. Sports lovers, Spurs is a process still early in his second season. Yeah, so what do you think about this, Ellie? Because you know, a lot of people are just like, you know, like what happens with Spurs fans is we win a game, we get excited. We lose a game like Brighton, and then we're just all down in the doldrums. Oh, Ange out, you know. And I'm wondering whether, you know, what we're just not recognizing that this is still, you know, like still early in the project. We're still building and making it work. In some games we'll lose 3-2, but some games we'll win 4-1, you know.
Yeah, I just feel we need to stay more focused and do what Ange says more, because you can see him on the touchline when we've not played particularly well or we've lost the game. He's very frustrated because he knows he can get that sort of performance from the team. And if we keep up our levels, because we are a very, very good team and we move the ball very, very well, right? There's times where I saw West Ham were sort of double banking and parking the bus, right? And we still broke through in the second half. So we can tear teams apart. We have got it in us, all right? And I know it's early in the process, but I think it's a work in progress. But I think when we're more towards that progress than we're behind, you know, where I would say we're 60 to 70% now, right? We still got another 30 to 40% to give. I think we've still got more, right? And I think if we had a few more players in the January window to create even more creativity and have another winger on that left to give Sonny a rest as well, because you can see he's tiring in a lot more matches and he's just come back as well. So Sonny can do it, but I think he does need a break as well. So you see how he break and how good he was.
I think that, you know, by the Jan window, Odegaard will be back, and I hope we send Werner back to wherever the hell he came, like to Leipzig or wherever the hell he wants to go. He's welcome to pack his bags. But I do think that
we'll pack his bags for him.
Because like with Sonny and Odegaard and Richie there, I don't really think we need a left winger. I actually think we need a right winger because Brennan has no replacement. Like if Brennan gets injured, there's just nobody there. Like Kulu is indispensable now to the midfield. We don't want to move Kulu to the wings. So it just makes sense to me to get a right winger or somebody who can do both.
Do you know what though? We could put Porro there as a stopgap if Johnson does get injured, and then play Spence in his place. We could do that. That is an option. Or play
But
Dragonson on the
Ellie,
right.
the problem with that is, I have now, everybody keeps telling me this, and actually, I rate Poro's attacking abilities. But the
Yeah.
thing is, every time he goes for goal, he always he missed. Even yesterday's game, right? He had this lovely cracking shot, but it missed by inches, and
Oh
it happens to
no.
him so often.
Yeah.
Where he just doesn't score, and I feel like if he's going to be a winger, then he needs to score. And
Yeah, I
Domi and
agree.
Poro both, I think, find themselves in forward positions where they don't score enough. Like they
Yeah, I
have the
agree.
ability and the opportunity.
Yeah, all our wingers have got to score more goals. The only one who's scoring is Sonny, right? Because I mean, all right, Johnson's chipped in this season, but in general, the one who scores is we need more. We need more from them. Even more from
Yeah.
Johnson. All right, he scored 6 in 7, but we need more. Yeah, I agree.
Dekaru saying, when I woke up this morning, Jose was still streaming. I didn't know about the Arsenal result at the time. Jose had a massive smile when he told me the result. Oh, that
Yeah,
must have been great news. It's great to wake up to an Arsenal defeat. I fell asleep in the Arsenal game at the 75th, 80th minute, and I
yeah.
saw 2-0. And my eyes were closing, and while they were closing, I was like, God, please don't let them have a comeback. And I woke up in the morning and it was still 2-0, and I was just like, oh my God, thank God.
Yeah, I know. It's so great when you wake up and Spurs have won and Arsenal have lost. Yes.
Sports of saying Spurs are a very tough team to play against. Yeah, I agree with that. And Niall is here. Morning, Ash. Morning to you, Niall. And yes, everyone, do the good things, like and subscribe and share and
Yeah,
comment and
press
all
that
those
like.
wonderful
Share our link with everybody that you know. Just send it
Yeah.
out. Yeah, it helps us.
And Mark saying afternoon, I think, Ash. Yes, it is afternoon here.
She had a bit of a
Warm.
lie.
Uh, and confusing is this morning here with Storm Ashley rolling. I did see the news of that. I hope everyone's keeping safe, especially if you're in Northern Ireland or somewhere along that
Yeah,
region.
just don't go near
Um,
any trees.
yeah. Niall saying, I watched the game yesterday. Spurs are brilliant 4-1. Yeah, absolutely. They really were
We
brilliant.
were
Thoughts on the Kudu
fantastic.
sending off and a massive fight leading up to it, which was checked by VAR. Ellie, what did you think about
Yeah,
this? I have many
yeah.
thoughts, so
I
I'll
mean,
ask
yeah,
you first.
when he gave him a yellow, I was thinking, what? Yellow, you having a laugh? First of all right, Van der Ven grabbed his shirt, yeah, but he pushed him off into his face. Then he turns and then he gets Richie. That was a mistake. But then he slaps Sar in the face. No,
Yeah.
definite red. Definite that's bad conduct by Kudus. And I love that player. I think we should have had him. He's wasted at West Ham. He was so frustrated at his team that he took it out on our players. Yeah, because he scored a fabulous goal and he done a brilliant shot before that Vicario done a fantastic save. All right, it was right at him, but he still had to save it. Right, but I thought Kudos was really, really good in the first half. It's a shame that he did that, and it's out of character because I've never seen Kudos act like that in my life. Right, so he's going to learn from it. He's a young player as well, and if he wants to make this Real Madrid trip that he's on that trajectory to get to Real
Yeah.
Madrid, in my eyes, because he's a fabulous player. I just thought he just lost it. He just lost his head, you know. Oh,
Yeah, I agree that he lost his head. My only issue is I think that this is going to be more than a 3-game ban. And I'll tell you why I
yeah,
think that. Like the
yeah,
process started before he even slapped Van de Ven.
yeah,
Because when Van de Ven was on the ground, he deliberately kicked him twice.
yeah,
That's why Van de
yeah.
Ven got angry, right? Like the ball had already, like the ball was not near him, and
That's
Kudus
true.
continued to kick him when he was down. And then so Van de Ven got up and he was annoyed by that, and rightly so, he got a yellow for pushing him. But like after that, so the first offense was that for the first yellow card offense was kicking Van de Ven. The second yellow card offense was for then slapping him on the face, which could arguably be called a straight red or a yellow, depending on the ref. So that would be his second. So that would be the red card. Then after that, he slapped Pape Matasar on the face. that would be the second direct red because it was deliberate violence or to the face. So
Yeah.
to me, that's 2 red cards. Like, I would not be surprised if he got like a 7-game ban or something, like 2 consecutive reds or something like that. Because
Yeah, I think
honestly,
he
there were
will. Yeah.
many.
I forgot. You know what? I forgot that he kicked him on the floor. Yeah, he kicked him
Yeah.
twice, not just the
Yeah.
once. And Van der Ven got up and he was so angry, he grabbed him by the shirt like that, and then he just pushed him in the face. All right, fair enough, he's reacting, but then he goes and smacks Sarr in the face. If he hadn't have done that, you never know, they might have been more lenient, but I still think it would have been a red, but maybe not a double red. So I think he's looking at a 6 match ban. 100%. Yeah.
And then Ephemerals here saying it's frustrating we lost to Brighton, but we can go back now, just move on. Yeah, my God, thank God we won this game. We really needed to win this game.
No. Yeah.
And now saying, what about Arsenal yesterday against Bournemouth? Oh my days, man. Yeah, did you manage to catch that game, Ellie?
I loved it. I loved watching it. It was so good. And I loved Alex Scott because he's a Spurs fan. Yeah, I think we should buy that boy. We should buy him. He's such a good player. Yeah.
And Spurs GCTV is here saying, good morning, ladies. Good morning
to
to
you.
Spurs
morning.
GCTV. And Vindaloo is also here saying morning.
Oh, poor Vindaloo.
Hey, Vindaloo. And sports lovers here saying, yes, the Spurs are still 2 windows away. It's a young team. I agree that they still have 30-40% improvement to go.
Yeah. And it's, you know what? Most of that is focus. Because football is not about just talented footballers. It's about being disciplined and focused, right? If you lose your focus in this league, you get punished. Yeah. Exactly. And if you're not on it, you get punished.
And then Shemtan saying, I think Ange went very attacking to start and did his analyzing game, made the change in second half to be stronger in midfield. Matters didn't have a bad game, just needs to work on his defensive transitions. Yeah, I agree with this. I don't think he had a bad game. I think he was a little slow. I tell you what it is. I think
not with it. And passing passing back all the time.
Yeah, like if you like Ellie, if you notice, once he went away, we were much quicker. Like we were much more direct, and like we just passed the ball around quicker. Like one touch pass. When Madison was around, he was just carrying the ball a lot and then passing back, and it was very like stodgy and.
And you know what, Udogie, right? He takes a lot of Madison's space. I've noticed that, and Udogie was attacking so well in that first half. Yeah, he was brilliant in that first half, Udogie, and like he done one run that he just run out of steam and he lost the ball right at the end. But he was really nearly on. He was nearly ready to shoot, and then he just lost it. But I think maybe Udogie needs to link up with, like Ericsson and Dele used to do on that left-hand side. That's what Udogie's got to learn. He's got to learn to link up with Madison more. He links up with Sonny more, right? So I think bring the ball and give it to Madders and link up and then work it to Sonny or just work it to the middle. Yeah, but I think Udogie's a lot to blame. But in Udogie's defence, he loves getting forward. He's an attacking player. He's not so much a defensive player.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and Dekaru saying the thing, Ellie, is that it isn't just progress, but it's proper progress. You can see what's happening. If we can pull this off, there's no limit to how far this team can go. Yeah, absolutely, Dekaru. I agree with this 100%. And then everyone's talking to each other. 3 for all is saying in January we need a decent second choice keeper, left back, and another winger minimum. Do you agree with this, Ellie?
Yeah, I think the thing is, Austin, he's never even going to get a look in, is he? Because like we saw him pre-season and then nothing because Vicario's first choice, obviously. But I think we do need to get somebody better because they're not trusting Austin.
Yeah.
Are they? So, I think a left back, yes, because do you know what? I reckon, right, you know what we did with Gareth Bale? I think we should do the same with Udogie and make him an out-and-out winger because he's fabulous. I just
But
don't
Eddie,
think his defensive
I
work
don't
is
see it,
good enough.
Eddie. I don't see it
He's
because he doesn't
powerful enough to
score.
do it. I don't know because Postecoglou likes to play left wing backs, right, or right wing back. He likes to play the wing backs, but with Udogie, he's so found out defensively. He does. Look how many goals we've conceded because of him, right? And if we can just push him away from defence and have a solid left back, that would make a big difference. Honestly, somebody who's experienced and knows how to usher players out, because he's still learning the game. He's still young, but I think he could be like a Gareth Bale because he's got the power, the build, everything. He's got it all going for him. But defensively,
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, Ellie.
Yeah.
Just to make you feel better, we played crap, wrong lineup, 3 defensive midfielders, Raya and a stinker. I could go on. I don't. A poor Vindaloo, Arsenal fan. But I mean, you would take being Arsenal right now.
Listen, we're not going to laugh too loudly because we know football can switch from week to week. So we'll wait till next week. If you have another stinker, we might rub the salt in the wound a bit more, Vindaloo.
Yeah. And I also think, I mean, it wasn't like you were on a red, so there is a excuse there as well. In terms of,
and you've got 2 major players missing, Bukayo Saka and Odegaard. Without them, you've lost your impotence up front because however good Trossard, Martinelli's a bit pants at the moment. He's not really performing, and the front line is quite weak without them because they're the creative boys.
Yeah, exactly. And then everyone's talking to each other. Then Niall saying, I watched Lucas stream last night. He was fuming. Luca called out all the players and manager. Yeah, I mean, I always love watching Arsenal fans melt down. I think it's one of my favorite pastimes.
I'm going to be looking at that later because, when we beat Man United, I loved the Man United meltdown. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Those are the most fun. Like, especially, like, when you can get some, like, these Staffy type people to melt down, they're just absolutely hilarious when they're melting down.
I'll tell you what, Ash, also expressions with Robbie on Arsenal Fan TV. I'm going to be looking out for that one as well.
Yeah. Did you see the violin one? The one with expressions got a violin. Vindaloo, it was a great day for us. Then Luca said his crash faces, it's not good enough. He's an Arsenal fan. Ellie will know Luca.
I know Luca. Yeah, through Twitter. Yeah, he invited me on his show, but I was my husband had a fall that day. He's had 4 big falls this year. My husband, really bad ones. So every time that I'm going to go on Luca's show as well, but that's why I didn't go to the West Ham game because I looked after him because he's wobbly on his feet. It's not good.
And then I'll say kudos is wasted at West Ham. If he's playing for a better team, he will thrive and flourish. Great talent. Yeah,
he is. He's brilliant. I love him.
And then Johnny's here saying got windy around Kent today. Everyone, please be careful. Climate change is a thing. It's really bad. I hope
it won't be blowing bubbles. It'll blowing Tottenham Hotspur flags. Come on. Woo.
And then Spurs is GCTV saying, he's just telling us where he is. Careful with that on the internet. Vidaloo's also saying, why waste time when it was 0-0 with 10 men? We should be pressed on 4. We should be pressed on 4. Arteta got it very wrong yesterday. Arteta did get it very wrong yesterday, but sometimes that happens in the Premier League. You can't do much about it. And Jess is here saying, smash the like, everyone. Listen,
smash the like button.
Be like Jess, everyone. Smash that like.
Yes.
And then Vindaloo saying hit the like we lost yesterday. I love a fan who can laugh at themselves.
If you all love Arsenal losing yesterday, smash the like. Yes.
Yeah. And then Lucas spot on. Why did Arsenal waste time with your 0-0 with 10 minutes to go? Too many of them blame Arteta. Yeah, I mean, I honestly,
he's a good manager. He just doesn't get them over the line. He's a bit like Poch. You can rate him like Poch. He's not going to get them over the line.
So too, you know, like he seems
Poch made this Champions League final though.
Yeah. But we still didn't win anything, Ellie. So I think it's the same.
We didn't win anything. Oh no. He won our hearts. That's what he did.
Yeah. It's like he's too worried about not losing points, so plays defensive but forgets goal wins you games. Yeah, you know, this is my problem with everybody who tries to be conservative. Like, this is why I like Ange so much. Ange doesn't change the way he plays because we're going to win or we're going to lose. Ange plays the way he does and says, this is the best way to play. This is the way we win. You know, and I appreciate that about him because I want to be entertained. I don't watch football. I waste my entire weekend on football just so I can watch 10 men behind the ball and occasionally winning a game 2-0.
And you know what? The great Glenn Hoddle was at that match, right? And at half time, the great Glenn Hoddle said he was entertained and he loved that first half. That's all you need. Glenn Hoddle saying that, you know, what a man and what a player. And he's bigging up Spurs because he said before the game, I don't know if you did you watch the game with Glenn Hoddle? He said before the game, he said, we play exciting football, but we haven't got that killer touch, you know. So, but then when he watched us in the first half, he was very impressed, which I was really happy about because he's my idol, Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah, sometimes I don't like him in commentary. If he was not in commentary, then he's fine. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I know what you mean because he doesn't big up Spurs as much.
Yeah,
because he wants us to be better. That's why.
Yeah. No, but you know, the thing is, Ellie, every team, you know, we don't have a lot of Spurs pundits. Like, they're all United and Liverpool and, you know, Arsenal. And so what happens is that already we're fighting an upscale battle in terms of the narrative. And then when the Spurs pundits also joining the bandwagon to hate on Ange and Spurs, then it becomes much harder to like make the point, you know.
I love Vindaloo. He's so funny.
Yeah, Vindaloo's hilarious. He's like, open invitation, everyone. Anyone wants to cream me, go ahead, because I do banter a lot. Yeah, everyone go at Vindaloo in the chat. He's asking for it. I mean, I say that in a non-sexual context. Please be safe. Nice saying Michael McIntyre was spotted yesterday at Spurs. Did you see his interview?
Dance. Yeah, he was dancing.
Michael McIntyre did an interview after the game.
That's Michael McIntyre on the phone.
Yeah, sorry. So basically, Michael McIntyre did an interview after the game, and he said Spurs are pregnant, and everyone was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Spurs are pregnant with a child called Mikey Moore." And like then he's going to be delivered in 9 months from now. Like it was such a funny interview. If anyone has the chance to go back and watch that interview, it's just hilarious. You might want to check it out.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out for certain.
I think it was on TNT, if I'm not wrong. Wait, Johnny's saying Winders made that was a lovely game to watch, proper cherry game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go and buy some cherries today.
Yeah, everyone go out and buy some cherries.
Celebrate with some cherries.
Saying good morning, ladies, and everyone in the chat. Yeah, good morning to you, Chris. How are you doing?
The only one I can bar.
Yeah, Mark's talking about his storm. I was meant to go fishing up that way, but River was in the town. Yeah, I know.
It's so sad when that happens, man. And a lot of people lose their goods and their livelihoods, and it's so sad. And the government don't do anything.
I live next to the river Narmada. It's like a really big river here in India, and that gets flooded a lot as well because of the rains and monsoons. So like it's really sad when that happens.
I like when you mention your tiger sanctuary. Yeah.
Yeah, Dekar is saying Bournemouth went through Arsenal like a bad curry, a vindaloo even. Sorry
so
with that one, I'll escort myself from the
that is
building.
great banter.
Oh.
Oh my God.
And Spurs
Yeah.
CCTV saying Tewkesbury seems to be flooded. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I think they're going to name it Atlantis.
That is how you pronounce it. Well done. You're not an English professor for nothing, are you?
Yeah. Windloo saying we played shit and we deserve what you got. Guys played well. West Ham gets a beating everywhere they go. You know what was
Yeah.
funny to me, Ellie, was that I think the Bournemouth fans also started singing Arsenal get battered wherever they go.
I
And so
know.
in one day, I heard West Ham get battered wherever they go. And then in the next game, I heard Arsenal get battered wherever they go.
It was just like Christmas came early, isn't it?
Yeah.
Christmas came early for us Spurs fans. Oh,
Yeah. And then Spurs GCTV is asking Mark about fishing. I will let them have that conversation.
yeah.
And Johnny thinks
Fish.
Udogi needs a good season under his belt. He's a quick learner. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with this. It's only the starting of his second season as like a like a proper senior player in the Premier League. So
Yeah.
we have to give him time to grow. I hope he does grow.
Yeah.
And then Mark saying we get it a bit down here because of the levels. Yeah, the sea level, right? Like I'm guessing it's lowlands. Windloo saying, "Come on, people, give me wait, come on, people, give to me because I do give a lot of shit to you guys. Respectfully, that is."
Yeah.
Oh, Windloo's really out looking for a fight
I'll just
today.
send you a box of cherries later today, Vindaloo.
Yeah.
Nice red
And then, all
ones.
right, he's saying, "All right, Ellie, hopefully it won't be the case, but I'll be here for the creaming." Yeah.
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 We'll have some
And
cherries and cream.
cherries and cream.
Not strawberries
And
and
Mark
cream.
is saying, talking about fishing, lots of fishing. I know nothing about
Fishing's good.
fishing.
Yeah.
And then Spurs GCTV is saying, okay, wait, he's still talking about fishing. Vindaloo, like anyone wants a dig because gotta go, people. Yeah, everyone, dig Vindaloo out. He really wants to be digged out. I think Arsenal fans are showing their self-hatred. Um, um, and then still call saying Udogi needs to be more wary and proactive of his defending. He's been letting his players go past him so easily, not good enough from him. He needs to learn from his mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does need to learn from his mistakes.
You mustn't
I
get
agree
too
with that.
tight. You mustn't get too tight on the player attacking him because if you get spun, you can't recover. However fast you are, it's so hard to recover. And Bowen spun him. But Bowen's a very good player, right?
Yeah.
But Udogi's got to learn to usher him out.
Yeah.
He can take tips from Ledley King. Ledley King, let's use him. Come on, Ledley. Get on your Udogi's case. Take him out to the park later today and show him the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Been losing yesterday's results mean I got to support Chelsea for God's sake. Anyways, catch you later, ladies. Ladies, have a great day. Yeah, you as well, Vindaloo. I hope you recover from your loss.
Any cherries along the way.
Yeah. Okay,
We've got to
fine.
lap
Still
it up,
fishing.
haven't we? Because Arsenal are not going to lose that many matches, are they?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a backhanded compliment to Arsenal, the fact that they lose so little, that we get so happy when they do lose. And I'm just saying, big up all, much love, nice weather for ducks today.
Having a party. We're having a cherry party.
Yeah. And then Nita's here saying, good morning, Queen Ellie and Ash. Good morning to you, Nita.
Ash, what we could do a party, right? Instead of bringing a bottle, you bring a box of cherries.
Yeah, why not?
Oh my God. Got to keep it up. Keep up the banter.
Yeah. And then I'm just saying, oh, right, still fishing.
Fishing is we're fishing for compliments. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're going to go back to ducks now. So Ellie, there's one thing that we haven't sort of talked about in the game, which is which is one sort of negative I had for the game, which is that Timo Werner came back out. do you think, when we're 4-1 up and there's some opportunity, why would he give like, why would he bring on Timo Werner? There are, like, he can bring on Mikey Moore, for example, right? I don't know, was Mikey Moore on the bench yesterday?
Yeah, he was. He was on the bench. Yeah.
Like,
I looked
do
it
you
up
think,
as well.
why do you think that, like, so some people are like, oh, when you're up 4-1, that's the best time to bring on Werner because you can play him back into form. But other people are like, when you have 5 or 10 minutes here and there, and he was on for 20 minutes or something. If you have that much time, just bring on Mikey Moore, see what he's capable of. What do you think?
I totally agree. Mikey Moore should have been the substitute, not Werner, because he doesn't deserve it, for starters, because he hasn't performed, right? And he's wasted so many chances for us, and the crossing's been pants. All right, he did do one little assist, but I mean, a 2-year-old could have passed that pass, right?
Yeah.
So, no, I think Mikey Moore, on that 90 minutes that we saw of him, he deserved. It's like sending out the wrong message to the player as well. Mikey Moore, you have a really good game and then you don't get any more minutes after that. And he does that a lot, Ange. I think he should really shake up what he's doing in terms of the substitutions in general. Okay, he got it right yesterday, but he's got it wrong so many other times. So we've got to make sure that the manager's on the ball as well. And to give Mikey Moore like a little up, so in his career, like you saying, you're worth that 20 minutes, which is well worth it. Because I saw him at QPR pre-season and he was by far our best player. And he's only 17, the boy. And he was 16 at the time then. But he's like, he needs game time to progress his game, and I just thought it was the wrong decision. That was the only criticism I've got of Ange putting on Werner.
Yeah, same here, because I understand the logic that some people were saying that but 4-1 is the best time to bring on Werner. We need him in form for the other games, and best to play him into form. But I genuinely believe this. Some players, like, I don't think Werner was a bad player to begin with. Before he came to Chelsea, I don't think he was a bad player. He was banging in goals for fun at Leipzig. But what happens is sometimes when you have like mental health issues and like PTSD from like these players, they get PTSD, right, from missing like really obvious chances like he did at Chelsea. And I feel like Chelsea fans have ruined him forever. And like that sort of mental health, like when you're down at the dumps to that extent, you're never going to get over it. It's like permanent trauma. It's really hard to get over some, like, because Chelsea fans were really hard on him. They were really, really, like, they would make fun of him at a level which was really, really scary, and he had to leave the Premier League because he couldn't cut it. And, when you reach that point, you can't play yourself back into form, like you've just, like, you've permanently, you sort of like have, it's like me in an elevator, right? Like when I was a kid, once I got caught in an elevator and the doors sort of like closing on you a little bit. Now every time I go into an elevator, it feels like the doors are closing in on me. I think that's how Werner feels every time when he's in front of goal, that so I think that like you can't get over that by just playing. Like, it's not something you can solve. Ange can't solve this. He's not a miracle worker. So I think we need to set, like, Ange needs to realize that and stop subbing him in and give Mikey Moore a chance, because Mikey Moore is less damaged and more likely to progress. The ceiling is much higher with Mikey Moore than it is with Timo Werner.
Yeah, because a lot of people are calling for Werner to leave in January to get rid of him, and get him off our books, because he's earning nearly 200 grand, isn't he? So that's a lot of money. And we're not getting any return from him. I think he scored 3 goals or 2 goals since he's been with us. And he's assisted a few more, but it doesn't cut the mustard for me. He hasn't got, like you said, he might, obviously this thing with the goal trauma, yes, you can see it clearly. He just panics and he just chooses the wrong option every single time. It's not like, it's not like he hasn't had chances. We put him through so many times, and he's very fast, so he will beat the last defender because he's like Turbo Timo, as he's got that nickname. But once he's there, he panics. And sometimes he's unlucky, I must admit. Like yesterday, he was unlucky when he had his chance. It just rebounded and it didn't go in. It was so unlucky. But, you know, he's got... I think Ange has got to realise that Mikey Moore is our future, right? Because this boy can play. He's such a good talent. And I just want to see more of him. Forgive the pun, but I want to see more of more.
More and more.
More. How do you like it? How do you like it?
And I still call saying today Liverpool, Man City wins means Arsenal lost. They will have very, very bad day. Yeah, hopefully. You don't know what will happen in football. You never know. They could, yeah.
For us, it would be better if Liverpool and Man City both lose, you know, or at least draw, because then we'll be nearer to them in terms of points, because we're 4 points behind at the moment. I think have Liverpool got 18 or 17? I can't remember. But either way, I think, you know, we need to be keeping in touch with those sort of teams. I'm just going to put my battery on.
It depends on what you're aiming for, right? Like, if you're aiming to be somewhere near the top of the league, then it makes sense to, hope for a draw. But for me, I kind of hope like Man City wins, because I don't want Arsenal to win the league. And so, and I don't believe that we can win the league. So since we're competing for top 4, it makes sense to me that Man City wins that game.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't want Arsenal to win anything. I don't even want them to win the egg and spoon race.
Yeah.
That's how much we hate Arsenal. Right. But let me put my camera back on. I was just plugging my computer in because it was getting low on battery and it was die. Yeah, so I just feel if we are going to stay in contention though, I think we've got the minerals. If we strengthen in January, I think we've got the basis of a very, very exciting team, right? Yeah. And if we play to our potential, that is, because we do drop off a lot, and it looks like it's chalk and cheese with our team. Like the Brighton game is a prime example. We can't be doing that. If you're going to be serious challengers and if you want to win trophies, you've got to be focused for that 38 games, right? You can only afford to drop off 3 or 4 games maximum, sorry. Yeah, you can't drop off anymore, because the teams that have won the Premiership all through history and before the Premiership started, they were only losing 3 or 4 games. If maybe back in the day you could lose 5 or 6, but now if you lose 3 or 4, you still got a chance of winning the league. And we've already lost 3, right? So we can't afford to lose many more. One more game and we might be out of it. So we've got to stay focused and win our matches, right? And then strengthen in January so that we can get more security, especially at the back. We need more cover.
You know, personally, Eddie, I don't even really care that much about the league. Like, I want to win a trophy. Like, I kind of hope we win the Europa, or I take a League Cup, I take the FA Cup, I take anything. At this point, I'm just like, even if we were top 10, like we were 8th in the league and we won something, I'd still be really. I would think that's an amazing season.
I want to win a trophy because I used to live round the corner from the Tottenham Town Hall, just 2 roads away. And I would walk there every season we were winning, right? In the 60s, the 70s we won, 80s we won, 90s we won at the beginning and at the end. We won 2 trophies in the 90s. And then the 2000s, since Levy took over, 2008, that's the only trophy we've been able to celebrate. Okay, so we need to start winning trophies, because that's what we're in football for. We're not here just to make the numbers up. We want to win something as well and stamp our
it does have to be. it does have to be win that progresses us. Like, West Ham, for example, we played them yesterday. They've gone backwards. They won the Conference League. They won a trophy. Like, they won a big European trophy. Not big, but they won a European trophy. And like after that, they were like, oh, we're better than Spurs because we won a trophy and you didn't, and all of that, yada, yada, yada. But like, you look at them under Lopetegui, I don't know how to pronounce his name. They've gone backwards. Like, Moyes took them forwards and now they've gone backwards. So honestly, like, I definitely want to win a trophy, and I want the trophy to prove that we have made progress, that we're getting better and we're winners now,
Well, you're in football to win things. You're not in football just to make up the numbers and not win anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. Why are we letting all these other teams, especially Man City, the last 12, 13 years, they've dominated the British League, the English League, sorry. So, like, they've come from nowhere. We haven't come from nowhere. We've got a glorious history with fabulous players that have gone through our clubs. Even when Poch was in charge, we had really, really, really good players, but we never got over the line with him. We were very unlucky. For six cup finals, we only won one of them. So, like, even if we'd won a half of those, 3, that would have been progress, and we could have built on that. But we've regressed as well, so we need to start winning so that we can stamp our authority on all the other clubs, because we can't be letting them win all the time, especially Man City. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Mark saying, sorry, this has turned into a fishing chat. That's all right, Mark. We love the fishies. And then Spurs is saying, sorry, ladies, chat's turned into a fishing stream. Back to footy. Come on, you Spurs.
Yes.
And Mark saying, Mark's angle is an idea for a show. Yeah, why not? TID, Mark's angle. And then when Tottenham lose, of course. I mean, and then Spurs GCTV saying we could call it Mark's tackle, then you can cover both.
We don't want to talk about Mark's tackle.
That's what he's saying. Well, not sure anyone wants to talk about his tackle.
He's a good tackler.
And then Finn Rickwood's here saying, big up, guys. Great win yesterday. Must kick on now. Yes, this is very important. Yes. Must kick on.
We do.
And Johnny saying, I'm surprised Mikey Moore didn't get 20 minutes. Strange sub to bring on Werner. Was like a no-point sub. Yeah, I agree with that. And Mark's just saying C, and then
get his son.
His confidence is gone for sure. Yeah. Mark saying, let's not beat about the bush. Werner is shy and stealing a living here. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, he earns enough to pay at least 3 players, So when you're earning that much, you better be, there has to be some end product. We're not a charity.
You know what I mean?
And then Johnny's saying, I'm shocked he's paid that much. My God, what is wrong with our chairman? Jesus, that's life-changing money. And we get nothing out of Werner except banter. Yeah.
People take the mickey out of us because we got him.
I mean, like, I don't want to be like really, really hard on him because I clearly see that this is somebody who's struggling. But, I would prefer that he was to struggle in Germany and not here.
Just go back to Leipzig. Like, Jurgen Klopp look after him, can't he? Well, what is he, 29 now, 28? He should be at his peak, not at his
he's 28, I think.
29, isn't he? Yeah.
And Spurs GCTV saying, when is Yang set to join us? January? If so, will he get into the squad or out on loan?
No, I think he's going to get in the squad. I think he's going to get in the squad because I think Sonny will take him under his wing, and I think he's been brought for a direct replacement for Sonny. So I think next year, I think Sonny will hang up his boots. Maybe next year or the year after, but I think next year he'll be thinking about it. Yeah, and I think he won't play so many games next year, Sonny. He won't, because he even said in the interview, I'm 32 now. So he knows that he's coming towards the end of his career. But he's still got a lot to offer us this season, as we saw yesterday.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, yesterday, like he was so pivotal yesterday. Everything was going down that left side. And, once they changed out the midfield, you could see just how, like, three of the four goals we scored have been through Sunny. At some point, the ball went through Sunny, and he helped create three of the four goals that we scored. I think he's just, people like, people think he's lost a step. He's just tired. Like they play him in and out. South Korea plays him all the time. Spurs play him all the time.
He's
In
not
the
finished.
in the weekends, he's just playing game after game after game. He just needs rest. Like we need to manage him better. The problem is not Sunny. The problem is managing Sunny.
Yeah, I don't buy into the narrative that he's finished. And I sent Harry Hotspur a little message yesterday because he's always digging out Sonny. So I didn't want to go on about it too much, but I had to have a little dig at Harry because he's always saying Sonny is finished, he's over. No way. You see the way he dribbled and made pants of Debo, who we were going to buy, by the way. But do you know what? I must mention there was a player who played for West Ham who I was very impressed with yesterday, Rodriguez. He was fabulous. He was blocking. He was
the defender, right? Yeah.
Very, very good player. Yeah, he could be one to look out for in the Premiership. He's fantastic. If the other defenders were as good as him, they wouldn't have no trouble at the back. But they're not. Yeah. So, yeah, I was very impressed with him anyway.
Still called saying Arsenal will win bottling third time in rows. Yeah, the bottle job trophy is Arsenal's for a third time in a row. And then Peter saying they say 6 games and you're out. That's true, Ellie.
Yeah.
And then Dry Roast Peanut is saying, come on, Dry Roast Peanut. He's saying Europa is ours. Yeah, that's the spirit.
Come on, we can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, who cares about AZ, Alkmaar, and them lot? And then still call saying Europa needs to be taken seriously, but Levy was still pressured Ange to make top 4 for UCL money. You can get UCL money and win a trophy if you win the Europa. Like you get into the Champions League and you have the Europe and a trophy in your cabinet. It's win-win. Like put your eggs into that basket, won't you?
Yeah. I'm putting them in.
Yeah. I mean, you and I have eggs, Ellie, to put. So
eggs. I might have some eggs after this show as well.
Yeah. And then Sheriff saying, yes, 91. Can't remember who lifted that trophy.
Yeah, go on, Gary Mavert. Woo!
And then Chang is here. Good morning, Chang.
Go on, Chang. Woo! Chang Ching Chong. Yeah.
If any of you lovely ladies are unable to do this 9 a.m. Sunday show in the future, I'm available and more than willing to fill in. Loving this all ladies normality now, and Mrs. Ash is back.
Come on.
I hadn't gone anywhere.
She's back. Oh.
I wish I had gone somewhere. It's just that I don't have electricity, so I exist, but I just can't talk to anyone. And then Shemtan saying the only fish I like talking about are the ones that come with chips. Yeah, you got it.
Yes. That's it. Fish and chips. Lovely. With some mushy peas. I love mushy peas.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Now I feel hungry.
And a bit of tartar sauce. Yes. We could do our own food show here, you Ash.
Pardon, Ellie? I didn't hear that.
We could do our own food show, you and I.
Yeah, we'd be great at that. We're both good cooks. So, Nita's saying, say it again, Ellie. North London is blue and white. We need to bring the trophies in. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Come on. North London is white. North London is white. Tottenham Hotspur. North London is
white. And then Chang saying, talking to Johnny and others. Everyone saying hi to Chang. And then still call is saying, well said, Ash. Yes.
You know it. Chang,
okay,
come on.
Good morning to other people. Spurs GCTV is saying it has been a pleasure to... Okay, wait. He's still talking to Chang?
Yeah, because Jose always says move on with that. I like reading them all, Sometimes you want to, but sometimes then you don't get to all the chat, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, no, when people are talking to each other, then I don't read that out. I just read the ones where they talk to us. And then Dika was saying, I'm saying this now. I've already said it before, but I've got such a good feeling about Europa League. Okay, let's not jinx it. Let's fingers crossed. I'm with you. I'm with you, Dekaru. We have like the Europa League. I don't know. There's just this little feeling inside of me that says we're a cup team. You know what I mean, Ellie? Sometimes you just get that feeling that there's a cup team here.
I hope so, because, you know, we've not been a cup side. We've been competitive in the cups, but we haven't got over the line. So when you say we want to be a cup side, I presume you mean you want to start winning again.
Yeah.
So we need to start winning trophies. Come on, Spurs. Come on. We're Tottenham Hotspur. We're not here to make up numbers. Yeah.
And Shettan says, still listening but walking the dog before it starts raining and mum wakes up. Loving the show today. Yeah, I kind of wish. Do you have a dog, Ellie? You have two cats, right?
Cats.
One cat.
Two cats. The Ginger, who we've just taken the cone off because he's got allergies, and his sister Iggy. And when he's got his cone off, he tries to attack her a lot. So we've got to be careful. He's a bit of a bully, our Ginger cat. But he's good in the main. He's good in the main. He's sitting at the window at the moment looking at the tree. There's birds in the tree that he's thinking that'll make a nice dinner.
Yeah. I'm probably going to get like I'm thinking after I get like finish my research and go back to teaching, I'm going to get a cat. Cats are the best. I love all animals. I love dogs as well. But like cats are just easier to maintain as well. I think dogs are a lot of work.
Yeah, true. I love cats.
Dekar is saying we're playing more Grey, Bergwall, etc., in the Europa League. I think that's what I'm enjoying. Yeah, you know, we're getting this really good Europa team coming up. You know, like if you see Pepe Mata Sarr, now yes, he played like one half yesterday, but like he scored 2 goals in 2 games in the Europa League. And you know, there's this alternate team of like Moore and Gray and Sarr and Bergwall that's sort of like slowly building, and it's doing really, really well for us. What do you think of that? Like this good second string.
Yeah, and it bodes well for the first team as well, because if they're playing together, they're getting to know each other, getting to know what their strengths and weaknesses are, you know, how to motivate each other. In the dressing room, they can have really good banter, get to know each other. Because a lot of footballers, they don't really hang out with each other after matches, would you believe? But it's nice for these young boys to make that, you know, connection with one another. And you know what? If you got great team spirit and you love each other as people and you hang out with each other and you really get to know each other that well, I think it bodes well for the future, for our future Premiership team as well, that these boys, young boys, are gelling so well in the Europa League.
Yeah.
All for it.
Yeah. Still caller saying, funny thing, Sarr is top goal scorer in Europa. I did not know that. That's hilarious.
Come on. I love him as a player because I think he covers every blade of grass, you know, and he's so committed and he's so focused. And like he hasn't been playing well this season up until this game, right? We've not really given him a look in apart from Europa. So he had a really poor game, first game of the season, and then he was dropped. So I just feel he's got a lot to prove now, you know, because he's got to step up. Because like he stepped up last season and he's taken one step back. So he's got to step up again. And he did show it in this game when he got his chance, what a difference he can make.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Like, I love when like players when they play for the team, you know, hardworking players.
Yeah.
Like that's what you want. Like, you know, the thing about Madison is he's got talent. He's got all the talent in the world. When he shows up, he's amazing. But when he doesn't show up, you're just like, what do I do with you now? You know, and so I like players that, you know, like they just put in a shift every game, in and out, always working hard. You know,
I agree.
That's the kind of player I like. Dekaru saying, I don't have a cat or dog. Where I live in Australia, the wildlife is enough for me. Got a massive blue-tongued lizard in my yard. If I had a dog, it'd probably get eaten. Aren't they called skinks? Blue-tongued skinks, right? Dekaru, isn't that the term for it?
Yeah, I'll just show you this. Look what they just posted on WhatsApp on Tel. It says it's Ange and Sonny with fish and chips, and then in the background it says West Ham fish and chips battered out to perfection. That is so funny. I love all the memes that have come out on Arteta. The artichoke one is really good.
Yeah.
Artichoke. I love it.
Mark saying, just had to look for a new profile pic, seeing as this is about fishing. And then Nita saying, Kuru and Bentancur are the masters in our team. Sunny will always bring quality because he is Spurs through and through. You know, interesting thing about Bentancur. What do you think, Ellie? This competition that we're having between Bissouma and Bentancur to get selected, like, where do you stand on that?
Well, Bentancur's winning it so far because he started in a lot more matches. I think they can both play together with Sarr behind them, right? And then Kulu in the front part playing that Maddison role, because I think that works really well. Because when we're in transition, Kulu's our out ball, right? And if we've got Bentancur there playing more of a forward role and Bissouma and Sarr holding, and they've got a very good understanding of each other's games, those two, right? And they do like each other, you can tell. So I think that would work better. I know Maddison, people would say, yeah, he's got to start, but he doesn't have a divine right to start, especially with Kulu filling that role even better than him, right? And I just think Kulu's a better footballer and he can hold the ball better, yeah? And look what he did yesterday. He destroyed West Ham, right?
Yeah.
And he was really good against Brighton as well, but we just fell off the wagon in the second half. That's the problem. But I think, you know, Ange's got a lot of food for thought there, you know, because Sarr came on and he was very impressive as well. So I prefer Bentancur, Bissouma and Sarr in midfield and then play Kulu in that number 10 role, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got to drop one winger, but then you're going to have wingers joining because Udogi's like a winger, Porro's like a winger, so you're not losing anything. And then you've got Johnson, who's a winger, right? He's really more of a front man than a winger, but at least he plays on the wing, you know, and he gives us whip. And you've got Sonny on the and Solanke in the middle. So you can accommodate it. If Maddison's not performing, he doesn't deserve a position, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with that. With Maddison not deserving a start. Anita saying Kulu and still call is saying for me Bentancur for top 6 teams, for mid teams Bissouma. Bentancur is more experienced with top teams than Bis. I'm gonna add David Clark's point to this and then comment on it. David saying all you Spurs fans just don't get with Maddison. He's never been great out of possession. Having 2 inverted fullbacks way up the field should help, but sorry they don't.
And I agree, David.
And then we have Daniel who's here saying good morning, one love to our chef from Bolivia. And Philippine is here saying woo! And then he's like KDL. For the uninitiated, that's the Kulu Defense League.
Yes.
Aren't those people happy? I've always been a Kulu defender. So Phil, I will say honorary position, even though I'm not in the KDL, I deserve an honorary position. And then David saying Udogi is no winger. His job is to be inverted, not out wide. I don't know. I like him down the wing. I think he's brilliant. When he gets the ball, he charges down the wing, then he inverts. He very rarely gets the ball inverted. Not so much now this season, anyway. He just pelts down the wing. I think he'll be a brilliant winger. I don't think he'll be a good winger, because he doesn't have the instinct to be a winger. He's physical and he can he can charge down, he carry the ball and progress it further, but he can't score and he doesn't have the eye for goal that a winger needs. Like, I think that he's either you keep him as a fullback or I don't see him as a winger. Like I don't know. Like
he's not going to be a winger anyway. Whatever I say, he's never going to get that position. But I just think he's got all the attributes. If he can learn the role, because he hasn't really grasped the role of as a defensive side, and we're leaking goals because of it, right? Because it's mainly his mistakes. All right, Romero's made a few on the other, but when the ball's coming across, he's out of position or his body shape's not right. He's too close to the defender. He's got to learn. If we want to employ him as a left wing back, then he's got to learn the whole role.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also think, I mean, from last season, we've seen that he's capable of defending. Like, if you were to watch the Arsenal game from last year, right? When he was really close. The away one. Or if you were to see the Liverpool game, I thought he kept up with both Saka and with Salah. And like he did a decent job, against really quality opposition. So I think
consistency.
I think he just switches off. Like it's a I don't think it's an ability problem. It's a mentality and temperament problem.
Yeah, well, he's got to get that part of his game right then, because we can't be letting in goals where he's not focused and he goes off the boil, And we saw last season when he got sent off as well, and he lost his head a bit. He made quite a few mistakes defensively last season, but I love the player. Don't get me wrong, I'm not digging him out. I'm just saying defensively he needs to work on his game if he's going to fill that role for us. Otherwise, we strengthen, right, and get a proper left back who can play his role, but we push him. I think I'll stand by my ground. I think he'll make a great winger, because look at Gareth Bale, how he developed into a winger. He was fabulous, right? And I think he's got the same sort of, he's got speed like Bale, right? He's got strength like Bale, and he's young. And you think Bale, when he first started in that role, right? First of all, he didn't start in that role. He was a left back, and then he developed so well. I just think he's got it in him. We just got to nurture it.
Ellie, if you put Gareth Bale anywhere outside of the box, even when he was playing as a left back, if you were to sort of like put him, he had an eye for goal. Even when he wasn't when he wasn't scoring the goal, it looked like he had an eye for goal. Udogie, when he gets the ball in a forward position, his first instinct is to pass to somebody else. Like he's like,
that's where we can teach him. Have a shot. Because I think he's got a good shot on him, and he's really good. He's really good at getting at the back. When he links up with Sonny, he's so fantastic at making that diagonal run to create space for himself, right? Yeah. So I just think he's wasted as a defender, because I just think maybe not have him as a winger, have him as like an inverted midfielder. Maybe he could do that job.
Like Trent, you mean? Like Trent Alexander-Arnold did.
Yeah, because he's got all the power in the world. No one could get the ball off him because he's so strong. He normally loses the ball because he's very young and he's headstrong, isn't he? When he belts down there, sometimes he's belting down there and his brain is not caught up with his legs. A bit like when Aaron Lennon used to play. He was a bit like that. But Aaron Lennon was fantastic at crossing the ball on the most part. Only when he got older, he sort of dropped off a bit. But, I think he's wasted as a defender.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like his best assets are going forward. So like maybe some sort of forward role, whether as a midfielder or as a winger, like however else we can develop him. Unless he learns more defensive ability, he does need to put in a more forward role. I agree with that. Still saying Udogie crosses were really good yesterday. I was very impressed by the second goal, the cross, the one the cross that he made. And then Phil P is saying a huge love from all the Kulu Defense League to Her Majesty Queen Ellie and the wonderful Ash. Huge love to Spurs fans everywhere today. Yeah, aren't we just all feeling the love with the win? And David's saying, I thought that Vicario was dodgy. What are you talking about, David? It was dodgy yesterday with the ball at his feet. He nearly cost us dear. He has to get his game together with the ball at his feet. Come on, David. That much is expected with, like, when you have Anthony running you down, like, you don't expect yourself to not, like, a human being, when you have this big lug of a man running at you, it's gonna be like a little bit scary, right? It doesn't mean that he let go of it or he had a problem.
Do you know what? Having said that, do you know when Anthony, right? He was running towards our goal, and I think it was Van der Ven, or was it Basuma? Basuma just Udogie just stood there and blocked him. Boof.
Yeah, it was so much fun. That was hilarious.
Coming together. That was very exciting. Boof.
Yeah.
Udogie didn't even like shirt.
You know, I really wonder with modern footballers.
That was like a coming towards him. Yeah.
He's quite a tank. But with modern footballers, I always wonder why they don't just stand their ground. Just stand your ground. Like take it on the chest, like, David saying, and then Phil saying, you are welcome in the KDL anytime. Everyone is woo! Yeah. Nige saying Kulu is class, best player so far this season. I agree.
Yeah,
Kulu is
brilliant.
class.
The moves that he was doing yesterday is sublime.
Yeah.
Like everybody's going, even the commentator was going, whoa, because they're brilliant. The way he was just spinning off his player is brilliant.
Yeah.
You want to see that. You see it, Kulu. Come on.
He was everywhere. He was on the left. He was in the right. He was in the center. He was just everywhere. Like, everywhere I was watching, the ball was going to Kulu.
Yeah. Do you know, like, all the best players should get free roles like Kulu, right? Give him a free role and they thrive. You should give him more responsibility.
I said this earlier as well. What he reminds me of is, in Germany, they call Thomas Müller, they call him the Räumdeuter, which means space creator. It's like space player, space creator. That's Kulu for us. He's the Räumdeuter, he just pops in anywhere and, immediately, because he's of his older ability and his ability to pass, he just creates magical space. It's not there on the field. It's created by Kulusevski, it's like a magical ability.
I know. And the commentator said that he reminded him of Chris Waddle. Now, that's a compliment, because Chris Waddle was a fabulous player for us. Fantastic. So he does remind me of him, because he's got that same languishing, so his body is not quite with it sometimes, Kulu. He's sort of bent, but he just molds his body so effectively to get past his player. It's a miracle, because he's quite lopsided as well, isn't he? When you see Kulu, he's always quite lopsided, but he works that to his advantage, because he leaves his man for dead. If he had just a little bit more pace, because he's not slow by all means, but if he had just that more pace like Waddle, like, he would be even better, because he'd get right in on goal. They wouldn't catch him. But yesterday, he made a lot of chances and he had some really good shots. Unfortunately, that one that he bent round, I've seen him do that in practice so many times. He always misses the targets. He's got to get that right, because he'll score a lot more goals, if he gets his shooting on point as well.
Yeah. And David saying Romero's best asset is driving into midfield in possession. He really helps our midfield. If he wasn't doing that, then our midfield wouldn't be as successful. Yeah, I was telling my brother this yesterday, that our distribution, it comes from Romero. Like, it just everything.
And Porro as well. Porro's very good at passing the ball. But Romero, I agree.
I think we've lost him.
Yeah, no, I think my internet went down a little bit there, but I'm back.
Yeah, you were saying, Eddie, about Porro.
Yeah, maybe not at the moment, but remember, he's only 21, right? He can develop his game. Look at Gareth Bale. He wasn't as good at 27. He wasn't as good at 21 that he was at 26, 27. So he's got a lot to learn, Udogie. But I can see attributes in his game that we can develop. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he will get there. I'm just saying that I can see there's lots of part of his game that I think he will be better deploying him there because his defensive work is not on point. Maybe he can learn the defensive point, but I think he's just too gung-ho and he loses it and his concentration is not there. That's why I think he'll be better deployed more forward. That's all I've got to say.
Nita's saying, if we can sort out our defense with 7 games in, we will do this well this season. Yeah. I just, sometimes I just wish for a clean sheet. Like, we're playing Palace.
8 games in now, isn't it? Because we've won 4, won 4, lost 3, and drawn 1 to Leicester. See, and we could have, those three losses, we could have got at least 2 of those easily. Yeah, because Arsenal, we were the better team, and against Leicester, we were better when we drew, and against Brighton, we were the better team overall. Even though we had a shocking second half, we still should have got over the line in that game.
Yeah, I agree with especially with the Newcastle and Leicester games. I think we should have definitely won those 2.
Yeah,
and 3 for all is saying we need a second left wing back, not necessary to replace Udogie. I'm more than happy with him, more as backup competition. Yeah, I agree with this.
Yeah,
I mean, either
100%.
I definitely agree with this. And then Peter is saying, I want Poch back.
That's coming from an Aussie. All right, Peter. Big up.
And then Phil P is saying, I think Destiny just need to learn to be more consistent and use his power to dominate people in the defensive part of the game. Yeah, I agree with this. I feel like he has all the modern fullback is attacking, right? That's their job. They're meant to bomb forward. In almost every big manager's game, the modern fullback is attacking, including Antonio Conte, because they're wing backs. To me, it makes more sense to teach him the defensive aspects of the game, and then he'd be a complete player, than to change his role. Because, sometimes you can ruin a player, right? Like with Eric Dyer, we ruined him. Like, he wasn't meant to be a centre back.
Defense, yeah, it ruined him. But he's still at Bayern Munich, so he's not totally ruined.
Yeah, that's true. Fair
he's
enough.
He's the way to the bank. On your Udogie, I don't think it's his strength that we got to work with, and he can use it. I agree with Phil P in that respect, but I think it's focus, right? He loses focus and he gets too tight to the defenders. So if he can get those 2 bits right, I think we've got a really fantastic player, because that is just his defensive part that lets him down, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then David saying the commentators mentioned it several times. They said he doesn't have a picture in his head of what he wants to do with the ball, and he ends up panicking. He nearly cost us a goal passing it to them. Vicario, I'm guessing. Come on, David. Like when you pass out from the back, like, we keep talking about it with Vicario. Look at Edison, who we think of as, Man City, they're so perfect. The number of times the previous, who was City playing? City were playing someone before the international break, and I saw Edison make the same sort of mistakes Vicario makes in distribution. I saw him make it multiple times, but because it's City, nobody even comments on it. And that happens when you're playing out from the back. It's not an easy job, because you always have some of the best strikers in the world coming at you. The fact that most of the time Vicario, he's had 1 or 2 games in which he's been off it a little bit, but most of the time he seems to handle that sort of pressure pretty well. So I feel like
he's better than Lloris, right? And if in doubt, just boot it out. That's what I would teach my goalie. If you haven't got an outlet, or you think the player's not in the right body shape to pass to him, because sometimes you can do that. They're not ready to receive it, right? They're not quite ready. Just boot it. Because Arsenal did that yesterday. Did you notice? Arsenal were booting it up. Yeah, they weren't playing out.
Do it all the time.
They were pressing. They were getting pressed so good by Bournemouth. Raya kept on booting it out, and I thought they turned into Stoke City.
They do it all the time. Like, they're actually really defensive. Like, whenever they get really anxious, they just boot it out. And you know, this is why I think, you know, this whole debate that you used to have last season about whether Saliba is better than Romero. If you look at both Raya and Saliba, they boot it out all the time. And I genuinely believe Romero is better on the ball than Saliba is. I'm not saying Arsenal fans don't come at me. Saliba is a really amazing defender. I'm just saying that Romero is better on the ball.
Yeah, he is. He's much better.
Phil saying for all his shortcomings, Vic was the only one that was talking to the players and trying to get us going when we went 1-0 down. Yeah, I appreciate Vicario. I think that he's got a lot of fight. He's a leader. He's you know, very, like, I don't think we'd be the same team without him. And he's a great shot stopper as well. I think yesterday he made that one save. Yeah, it was coming right at him, but it was coming with a lot of speed and power. So he still had to make that save. Phil saying, I never been keen on keepers as skippers, but he shows good leadership qualities that are sorely lacking elsewhere in the team. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Colin's here. Good morning, Colin.
Oh, Colin.
And then Nita saying, Poro is the man. His feet on the ball is class. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, when he's on the ball, Poro is just magic.
You know the scissor kick shot that he did? Yeah, that's what I was just going to mention. That was fabulous.
Yeah. It was so good. I was just like, if it had gone in, that would be goal of the season.
That deserved a goal. It really did. It was amazing.
David saying, Phillips, you're right, but if your own game at your feet, it's hard to bullock other players for making mistakes. Yeah. True. Brighton didn't even start Mitoma yesterday. He came on as a second half sub.
Yeah, he was so knackered after battering us. That's why.
Yeah. And then Ephemeral is saying, didn't Udogie had an ankle injury operation? I think he hasn't fully healed yet. It still takes time to get fit. Most of his games are like 50-50.
He had hamstring, I think it was a hamstring.
I do know. And you know, then he got injured. Then he got injured again, and then he died. That's why in the Europa we had problems with fullbacks because we didn't have anyone for him. And I think that I think that he's been, like, we do make this mistake with a lot of players that we bring them back really fast. And I'm glad that, you know, with Sunny, for example, we gave him the rest with the international break. With Udogie, I don't think he's had that. We need to manage him a little better, especially with young players, you know.
Yeah, true. Well, we haven't got no one who can replace him, really, who's of any sort. We've got Davies. You know, I mean, you know what you're going to get with Davies, but he's not a bad player, but he's not a Udogie, is he? Defensively, he's solid, though, Davies. He has got experience. That's one good thing. Yeah.
And then David saying, I think Vicario has been watching videos of Everton's keeper.
That's a bit hard. I think
David,
after a
4-1 David, after a 4-1 victory, you can't go digging out our keeper.
Still we'll have to do VDL, isn't it? We're starting the VDL, Vicario Defence League.
Vicario Defence League. Let's get it going.
VDL.
VDL. And then still Colin here saying one is world champion and other is 2 times bottle jobbers. He's talking about Romero and Saliba.
Yeah.
And then Phil saying, all right, huge love to you too, Phil. Have a wonderful Sunday.
Yeah, he's going to have his breakfast probably.
And then Nita saying, my face ain't stopped smiling. TNT yesterday, Glenn, Les and Peter, the panel, sweet as White Hart Lane memories by the Spurs.
I know. It was so brilliant seeing Les Ferdinand as well. And he doesn't look a day older. They say black don't crack. It doesn't. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And David's asking, are you going to the Spurs ladies game at Chelsea, or are you going to watch it from behind your sofa?
No, I can watch it from behind my sofa.
Yeah, same here. I just got to hold a pillow in case I want to, like...
Yeah, because my hubby's not very good on his feet at the moment. He's a bit wobbly, so I've got to be careful with him at home. Because when he gets up, he tends to stumble. So I don't want him to fall again. So I've got to keep my eye on him. Yeah. He's a bit like, what's his name, who used to dive? Klinsmann. They used to say he was a diver, didn't they? I loved it when he came to Spurs and he done that dive the first time he scored. And they all dived together.
In yesterday's game also, when the kudos thing happened, the funniest thing for me was, like Mickey went down, great. And then on the side, Richie also goes down, okay? And it was like a light brush. It wasn't even a proper like headbutt or anything. Richie's just like on the floor as if somebody's killed him or something.
Do you know what though? Richarlison is the most unluckiest player. He's just minding his own business and he gets clobbered to the floor really hard as well. Poor bloke.
Yeah. And then David saying not as wobbly as ladies Spurs ladies defense. My God, the Spurs ladies defense.
Yeah,
I swear, like passing out from the back gives me nightmares.
Yeah, very true. But our midfield and our attack are really, really, really good. Because against Manchester United, we lost 3-0. We had loads of possession. We just didn't do anything in the final third. And Beth England was off it. We didn't have Hayley Rasso. We didn't have Mate, the Spanish lady who we signed. So we were weakened already. And they did, our ex-player of all, Bissett, done 2 brilliant crosses and they scored. Right, and that turn.
I'm so angry because Clinton and Bizet both went to United, so I'm feeling their loss very profoundly because they're just so talented, both of them.
Brilliant.
Anyway, we have reached the end of the chat, and I think the end of the show as well. Ellie, where can we find you next?
Yeah, at Spurs Diehards. We've got a show tonight with Ian Meth, who I'll be joining at 8:00, and then on Tuesday, we've got another show with Spurs Diehards, and you'll always find me with Jose and yourself. And I want you to pick up your show as well. Ash, come on, let people know where they can find you.
So, I basically have a channel called All About the W. It's a women's football channel. I'm just going to put the link in the chat. Tomorrow day after tomorrow we'll have a video out reviewing the games of this week, the WSL games of this week. It's going to be really sad for me because I'm gonna have to talk about Spurs losing to Chelsea. I mean, hopefully not, but it's possible Spurs losing to Chelsea because Chelsea are on 1 right now. So hopefully that's not the case. But this is the channel, everyone. I know even if you don't watch women's football, maybe if you could just show your love, like and subscribe to our videos. That'd be really nice.
Yeah. And she's doing a fabulous job over there. So please do tune in and support our lovely Ash. And we'll thank you, everybody in the chat who's made a contribution today. It's been lovely being here with you. And we'll hope to see you next Sunday. And what I'll do before we check out, I just want to bring up something. Where is it? Oh, I've lost it. I think I actually deleted it. Yeah. Let me just see if I've got it. No, I haven't. Anyway, before we want to thank everybody for joining us. You've been marvellous in the chat, keeping us buzzing, especially David Clark. And we'll see you out with a really good outro. Make sure I hit the right one this time.
I'll do it.
Yeah, go on, because I always hit the one.
Yeah, everyone, come on, you Spurs. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.
Come on, you chip.